Awake to my voice.
Hi, I'm Adam, a lead artist with 20 years experience in the field. Welcome to Using Reference with PureRef, the first tutorial of a 12-part series on the creation of the fullness from the lovely concept by Pauline Vob. Okay, so it's always been a place of contention for universities when students are starting out of whether to use reference or not. I use PureRef. It's always important to have decent reference that you can rely on when you're producing your figures. Here, for the anatomy, even though I've been doing it for 20 years, I still need reference for everything I produce, and everybody does. There's no one that can do it from scratch without making some mistakes. You can have the memory over a long period of time, but it still won't be perfect. I also use, here I'm getting reference from 3DSK, which I'll put in the description for a link to it. I also have a 3D Total Anatomy Crochet, a group of them, so you can use them also, as you can see in the background of my start of my YouTube videos. Here I'm using the PureRef as the board. I'll put a link for that description also. It's one of the best ones to use, which is quite industry standard for game industry. Here I'm looking at the deer, which is the back end. So I've got the front end and the back end of the fawn. I'm looking at how the skin is, how the fatness is. Here I'm looking at the muscular system, because I'll develop the muscular system first. So where the rivets are, where the curvature is of the body, that kind of thing. Even if you're doing stylized work, you want to be able to produce it in a realistic manner, because anybody has that memory in the eye of something that's supposed to look natural. If you didn't have the correct muscular system, even on a stylized work, it's just not going to be believable. I just grabbed the antlers, then looking at the texture of what I want to produce there, because mine's going to be 3D rather than concept. I want to produce a little bit more detail. So I always have in my eye what's going to be the end result while picking out the reference. Here are the hooves. The other reference is clipped, so you can't actually see what's below there. So I've got some close-ups of the hooves. Now I'm looking back at the body of what else I require. I'm looking at trying to get some back end of the deer as well, like the tail, things like that for later. Yeah, I'm just checking the reference again to see what else I need. I'm just getting mainly all the images from Google, unless it's from my own reference from previously, like 3DSK. Like this one's some of my own artwork. It's just an example of what I was after. I actually changed that up later on for a different kind of style, because it's longer hair, more separate. Here I'm looking at the flowers. So I've grabbed the flower then that looks similar to the flowers in the concept. I'm also grabbing a couple of other flowers that are more based on how I want the texturing and material and the texturing values to be. Now I'm looking at the deer ears. Here I wasn't really certain about how it folds, so I grabbed a cloth ear basically as an example of where I wanted to go with it, just as a very quick stylized ear basically.